Buzz with Jess Lujan.
First elected U.S. Guam Attorney General Doug Moylan is my guest this evening. Now, General, of course, we're talking about this federal receiver, and of course, every day we talk about the situation about the hospital, ongoing situation. Of course, we have talk about open borders. We've got open borders. We have nothing to do with that, but and we're going to see more and more of these open borders situation. It's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. And
Senator, it's interesting you say that. I have this idea that the U.S. government might not be so interested in opening up Guam's borders as they were in the past, the decades past.
Sure.
Because of the North Korean threat.
Well, let me ask you this: we just recently got the Russian visa waiver. Okay, I'm of the belief, actually, since the very beginning, that it's going to be very, very, very hard to get the Chinese visa waiver. I think, again, with the situation happening there, of course, not the Chinese, but they're great allies to North Korea, and they have great investments in North Korea. And so, actually, although we're allies with somewhat with China, they're actually in the back room going, go, North Korea.
Yeah, it's like a prize fight. They're watching and seeing the contender go up against one of the underlings before the big fight.
That's right. And have money on both sides.
That's right, hedging their bets. Yeah. But, I think the thing with Korea is their form of government. Sure. I think it's historically the communist form of government is incompatible and a threat to the capitalist form of government. But I do believe that for purposes of our hospital, like we were discussing, that the options available to our politicians can include also bidding out the services. You got a new hospital opening up. Sure. You've got a facility set up already in our GMH to privatize it and to require that they basically provide services to even those people that can't afford it.
So General, let's say you were in your first term of your elected office of the Attorney General. This is going on right now, of course, all the situation, and you're in office while this is happening. Looks like we're on the brink of probably a federal receiver, the Guam Hospital. How do we go around? How do we prepare now? What would you suggest to say our lawmakers and our leaders at this point to prepare to make sure that if we go in federal receiver that we don't pay for it again, and how we can not pay for the landfill anymore and whatever receiver we have?
Well, the existing receiverships, an application, if I were in that position, I would make the application before the federal courts under the Organic Act, the Territories Clause of the U.S. Constitution, that Department of Interior take over. When they said that they're taking over, they're taking over everything. Sure. And it's not a black eye necessarily to the government of Guam, but it's a reality that we are subject to all these laws that are being passed around us that we have no control over. The dialogue is very important for purposes of our hospital to avoid having that receivership imposed upon us. But if we can't settle it that way, either preemptively go to court through a declaratory judgment action, or when the receivership occurs where we can't provide the service. And when the vendors stop providing the services, I think that is going to show the critical point. When a vendor says, "I'm sorry, you're $20 million in debt. We're going to go do business with the new hospital," that is going to be a wake-up call for our government. And unless we make adequate preparations in advance.
Well, the vendors are already telling us that basically they're not providing the services and products basically.
And some doctors, like Dr. Akimoto, they believe we're already in that position that we cannot provide that necessary critical care. If we had a Boston massacre occurring here or some mass incident, the Naval Hospital, in my opinion, would be taking over most of the work. I don't know if we're equipped medically and staff-wise.
I don't know. Well, I mean, on a daily basis, we have waiting for how long?
That's
right. Imagine it in a catastrophic event.
Right.
Anyway, General, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure. Hey, join me tomorrow morning in the Buzz. Isla 63, tomorrow radio station. Let's talk more about this. See, we've got to get our plebiscite going. So, Commission into Colonization, go back in on your record books and look at the works of Leland Bettison. Let's go with that. Talk to you tomorrow morning.